Hey! So Dynamite was last night. It was our 3-hour show. I'll go home before a double or nothing this weekend. This show was really fucking good. Really fucking good. There was some shit that felt pay-per-view quality. Some shit that was, you know, bog standard for a Dynamite and a Collision. And yeah, a lot of, not mixed, mostly really good. A lot of it was, obviously everything was enjoyable, but a lot of it was really fucking good. So yeah, let's get into it, because I thought this show was really fucking good, if you didn't gather. So, our show actually opened up with our trios match, setting up our Stadium Stampede match, which was between Andrade El Ídolo and Mark Davis, obviously New Japan Global Champ, and obviously the AEW National Champ, both of the Don Callis family, with Ricochet of the Demand versus the Young Bucks and Chris Jericho. Now, the match itself was kind of, honestly, I weren't really getting into it. It was the first one. It was early. It might need a rewatch from me. But I remember it being, like, quite spot fest. Like, what you expect. The Bucks are never going to put on a bad match for me. Andrade and Davis had a lot to do, which was good. Ricochet and Jericho obviously continuing their thing. Jericho didn't look too out of place, which was good, which I really enjoyed. And I thought that was going to be a worry. Don't get me wrong. You could definitely tell the pace was off when it was mainly focused on Jericho, but very rarely was that. And to be honest, the Bucks made it feel like they altered it to him, which was really good. The main thing to talk about the actual match was the ending. Obviously, you know, it becomes a brawl. You have the Demand coming, or the rest of the Demand coming out. And then obviously, Jack Perry comes out to make the save. And then it's still getting overcrowded. And then you hear, bum, 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 bum. We hurt people. I love their theme. And the Hurt Syndicate come out and they start beating it. It's total utter chaos. It's basically just to promote Stadium Stampede. No Kenny, which was surprising. At least I don't remember seeing Kenny. Yeah, no Kenny. Sad. But I feel like Jack Perry got a good pop. That was the main thing. But yeah, the Hurt Syndicate obviously still be in the match. I'm still really happy about that. But yeah, honestly, I'm looking forward to this. I think this would be quite fun. The dogs were obviously there too. I always forget the dogs are in this match. I forget that they exist sometimes now, which is a shame. But because I like Clark Connors a lot. But as an actual match, fine. I do think I need to rewatch it again. It does set up. I'm excited for Stadium Stampede anyway, which I didn't expect to be. The addition of the Bucks, Perry, and obviously the Don Callis family with Kenny and stuff, that's really improved this match a lot. So it gives me something to look forward to. But yeah, as a match, I don't really remember all too much of it. It was fine. It was just I might need a rewatch again. Early, it's so hard to remember everything on a 3-hour show, especially. But yeah, fine, sets up the Stadium Stampede. That's its job, and it achieves it. After this, we get backstage promo with Darby Allin, and he basically asks, why are you defending the belt? Renee basically asks, why you defend the belt? He goes, because I will basically do this till the wheels fall off. I am the man, you know, shit like that, you know, and he basically says, I'm going to be the champ till the wheels fall off. I'm just reiterating his points, because everyone is pointing out, like, why are you defending the belt week in, week out, which I fuck with. I don't get the complaint. But yeah, basic shit from Darby just to get him backstage before his match, obviously. However, after this, we got an insane match. And when I was saying shit at the start felt like pay-per-view quality, this is exactly what I meant. We got Tommaso Ciampa versus Mark Briscoe in an Anything Goes match. Now, this match was absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Really fucking fun. I'm debating doing a separate match ramble because there's a lot to talk about here for me and I really did enjoy it. So I might do that. But to get over this felt very PWG. Very PWG in the best way, where it had like the moment where like they're bringing out the weapons, obviously the tables and stuff, and Ciampa and Briscoe got great chemistry. But there's a point where Ciampa brings out this small little like stuffed chicken, obviously Briscoe being a chicken farmer, and he starts doing moves on it, and the crowd are like selling it and shit, and he's like doing the shit, and he's doing an elbow drop, and Ciampa goes for a pin, and then Briscoe racks his feet, going, no. It's so fucking dumb, but I love it. I love it so much. Again, obviously you get a fun little table spot with the staples. And the cheese grater, like, I, honest to God, really enjoyed this match. I thought it was excellent. It was my match of the night, which was insane. I didn't expect it to, especially with one of the matches on the card being the me match of the fucking year. But, like, this, I really fucking enjoyed. I think I am going to do match ramble, so I might just keep it brief here. Mark Briscoe does get the win. It was excellent. It was a real good match. Again, pay-per-view quality. It feels weird that we're not doing... Again, it felt weird like we weren't doing this on Double or Nothing, but this proves that we should have, because it's that good. But I wonder what we do with Briscoe and Ciampa going forward. But either way, this was absolutely excellent. Again, Ciampa continues to do no wrong. And with someone like Briscoe, obviously with their chemistry, but Briscoe goes fucking all in, with pun intended, where intended, like, he just doesn't give a fuck. Like, he'll bleed on weekly TV like it's nothing. Like, not like Moxley, but, you know, he just goes, it's 100% or nothing with Mark Briscoe, and that's all you can give him credit for. He's a phenomenal wrestler too. And Ciampa's just been on an absolute tear. This was excellent. I'm going to do a separate match ramble, I've decided, in this moment. But yeah, this was phenomenal. Easily my match of the night. Great, great match. After this, we actually get so Tony Schiavone's in the ring, and he's about to talk about, like, you know, the Owen stuff, and then Nana interrupts him and goes, "Tony, get your ass out of here, you big old fuck." And then he says, "Let me introduce you to Swerve Strickland." Swerve comes out. I know Swerve's new theme, and I actually like his new theme, but they fuck up the intro because it just doesn't start with the true start of the song, so it just starts in the middle of the chorus, and it's like, it just doesn't have that impact. It's like, I'm not saying everything needs like a Death Rebel Who's House. Like, I do think that works with Swerve's, but like, it had no... Swerve's new theme should have the... like, the chilling bit. It just fucks it up. They fucked up the entrance theme. But, as an actual... so, Swerve comes out to make his promo, and then Bandido straight up attacks him. Straight up. And very unlike Bandido, and Bandido, you can tell, is pissed. And he starts having a little scuffle, gets it in the ring. And you can tell Bandido... Like, I don't want to say they fucked something up, but you can tell they were definitely something did change plan on the time. It was, so they get the chair out, and Bandido does is obviously hold up a Swerve, which was impressive as always is. Swerve's a big guy, and obviously Bandido's just incredible. And he goes to clearly throw him off onto the chair, but then he just drops him, which, you know, fine, still does the job. And then Swerve throws the chair at him to, like, attack him, but Bandido's supposed to catch it, he drops it, whatever, that's fine. And then he goes to, like, hit Swerve with it, and Swerve throws out. And that was the bit where it was really slow, really clunky, and then, like, basically Swerve and Bandido were looking at each other, and, you know, like, shouting at each other, saying, "See you at the pay-per-view." Basic build. I don't care. This match is going to be excellent anyway. It didn't need much build for me. It's fucking phenomenal. I thought Brody was going to run out. To attack Swerve 2 and stand there, but I don't know. I thought something like that was going to happen, but didn't. I do feel like the only problem with this whole matchup is there's been a lack of story in terms of, like, on TV, like vignettes and stuff. That's due to Swerve not being present a lot, and Bandido having visa issues, so it's understandable. But either way, it builds a match I'm excited for. It doesn't have a lot to do, but yeah, this match on Double or Nothing is possibly going to be match of the night, and that is insane. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this, and this segment somehow makes me even more hyped. So yeah, that's all I give a shit about. Now, after this is a big update, and we get the commentary team talking about the Owen, and they cut to Willow backstage, and Willow saying the Owen, she's so excited for it, she always wanted to win the Owen, it's a big deal. And because of the TBS title, she's been defending it, and she's unfortunately picked up an injury to the shoulder, so she has to drop out the Owen, but she also has to relinquish the TBS belt, which was a big blow, and you could tell she was clearly emotional about it, which sucked. But yeah, so Willow's out of the Owen. Alex Winter's going to be facing a wild card. We don't know who that is yet. And obviously the TBS title is now vacant, so I'll probably do a separate video on that, just talk about what we could do with the CBS title. But this is a big blow. It does feel like Willow's reign was kind of limited anyway, and not from her fault. It was just from, it was so focused on the comeback stuff for a good point, and then it's ended. It's a shame. I feel like we could have got more mileage out of it, obviously, and Willow and the Owen missing out is absolutely, it's shit. There's no other way to sugarcoat it. But yeah, honestly, it's something. It's shit news, but we'll get past that. I feel for Willow. We don't know how long she's going to be out for. It's obviously a shoulder injury, and she has to relinquish the belt and exit the Owen. I'm going to assume it's a while, but either way, yeah, sucks. But they announced a wild card. They don't know who it is, so that's going to obviously talk about speculation. They don't announce what they're going to do with the TBS belt. I feel like they should soon, because I feel like that's something we could definitely speculate for a while. But yes, shit news, but unfortunate. But Willow will be back. Willow's always as good as she is, so yeah, we'll get Willow back to her best, 100%. However, after this, we actually get our AEW Continental Championship Eliminator match, the rematch we've been waiting for a while. Jon Moxley versus Kyle O'Reilly. This match was really technical, and I didn't expect it to be as technical as this, but it was really fucking good. I mean, it's a lot of it teasing, a lot of it waiting for this ankle lock moment, which it does obviously happen. but it really shows the difference between Moxley now and then, and he still managed to make it very teetering of Kyle, you know what I mean, and they do have a lot of time where Moxley's beating up Kyle, so it shows the improvements of Moxley, which he has been saying in the 6 months it's been so long, but now he's obviously a different man, obviously Continental 6 months ago, and Kyle's obviously just still is determined. I loved it. I loved how they really... This felt excellent, as you expect with these two. The chemistry's always there. And I think what it really benefited from was the change in Moxley, but it still managed to repeat the same story. Moxley's big boots, paradigm shifts, strikes, elbows specifically from Kyle as well. And I love how they mix it up where Moxley's top strikes are always going to be better, but Kyle's low strikes are always going to be better. I thought that was a really interesting thing to go down. I thought they really nailed that. The finish that goes to the time limit draw, and I love the finish where as soon as the final minute, final 30 seconds, Kyle gets the ankle lock, and it looks like he was just waiting to get it. He was looking for it all the match, and then he gets it, and then it's like the crowd go, oh, like they know instantly it's going to happen. And this is through a match where he's had arm bars, Yuji Katamis, all stuff like this, and I love that. And then he basically goes, he's got it, and Moxley's in the exact same position as he was when he tapped out twice, and he's about to tap, and he holds out, and then the crowd are so invested because you're like, is he going to tap, is he going to kick out? You forget about the time, and then you hear the bell ring, and everyone's like, oh. Like, and some people were disappointed. Was I? No, I thought it was a great call. I thought it made a lot of sense. And they confirmed that, obviously, this is a time limit draw. Kyle's pissed. And then Kyle goes, and then, like, they confirm Kyle gets a shot at the Continental Championship against Moxley because of this. And then Kyle grabs the mic and goes, basically, no, Moxley, you escaped me. End of the day, this is twice now you've tapped out to me and you were saved by the bell there. I want another match against you, and I'm telling you, you will no count out, no time limit. You are, you will tap, you will basically be, I'm going to fuck you up. And then Moxley gets the mic, well, doesn't really get the mic, he does this after, but like he's like, oh yeah, as you expect from Moxley, and they're staring each other out. This fucks. I've always enjoyed Kyle and Moxley. I'm really happy we're picking up. It's not to the same level as we're picking up straight away as we did with the C2. That was like pre-C2. That was insane. Like that was, you could have pushed Kyle to any belt and it would have worked at that point. But this, I'm really happy we're back to it. It feels like they know what to do. It's a very simple story, but it really is effective. And it works more for Moxley now too. And I feel like that's what's really interesting about it. So they do confirm it. Obviously, we'll talk about it later, but they do confirm the match is happening double or nothing. Shock. But either way, this is a classic. Not a classic in terms of a match, one bell to bell, but the feud, what they're doing, everything, I think it's excellent. There's no notes on this. I think everything they're setting out to do with this is working. I want more. I love it so much. This is really fucking brilliant. So after this, we actually get Shida and Statlander backstage, and it's basically what you expect from these two. Renee goes to ask Statlander for a comment about Willow's obviously announcing her injury and stuff, and Statlander's about to say something, and then Shida interrupts and goes, and then Shida just goes, we are fighting the 4 women, we're here to start no trouble. Like, it's just so wooden, it's hilarious. And then Statlander just, like, looks at her, and then they're basically saying, what's going to happen, and goes, we're not here to cause trouble, or stuff like that, we're going to try and cheer, we're just here to observe and, scout out, because me and Statlander are best friends. And then Statlander just grabs her by the neck again and goes, watch yourself, walks off. And then Shida just looks dead in the camera and goes, go girls, or some shit like that. I love Shida. I think Shida's been insanely good. Honestly, I've really enjoyed Hikaru Shida since she's returned, and I didn't expect to this much. I didn't. But segment, fine. I wish we did get a proper comment from Stat on Willow. I feel like that's something we could do. But developing Shida and Stat more, I'm all for that, and I can't wait for their interaction in that match, because I think Statlander is going to slime this piece of shit out. After this, we get the proof that I am the biggest brain in the world. We get Roosh backstage, and he basically just calls out Darby straight up. Darby, I didn't get this. He said, Darby, if you're still champ after Double or Nothing, I want the match on Wednesday, because if you mess with the ball, you get the horns. And I was like, why don't you just do it for Collision on Saturday? I don't know if we're doing a Collision. This is weird. They normally announce a Collision on Saturday during this, but they haven't, so a bit confused about that. I'll look that up. But Roosh getting the Darby match, hopefully. I will be very happy, because that will prove I'm right. And if we don't, we've wasted a match on Sammy Guevara in 2026. What the hell are we doing? Now, after this, we get our 8-woman tag, which is Athena and the Triangle of Madness, Skye Blue, Julia Hart, and AEW World Champion Thekla versus Thunder Rosa, the Brawling Birds, Jamie Hayter and Alex Windsor, and Mina Shirakawa. This match was fine. It was fine. It's really nice to see Athena here. Athena's character works here that really gets the match going for me. The face team look great, as you expect. Well, specifically the Brawling Birds and Mina. Thunder Rosa's okay. The Sisters of Sin don't really do much. Even Skye Blue doesn't get a lot to do here. Even Thekla, admittedly, it doesn't feel like there's much to do. It feels like it does drag on a bit. It feels like they did spend too much time with. There's another match that suffers from that heavily. And I feel like, yeah, it's a fine match. Does it do much for me? No. I do feel like it builds up Athena. I like Athena's whole... I like Athena's dynamic with Thekla because, like, you know, obviously she clearly wants that belt, but she's going to respect Thekla. Athena fits in with the sisters and the Triangle of Madness. I really enjoyed that, actually. But I thought the Brawling Birds obviously looked the best here, as you expect. But not really much to say. It just kind of happens. The main thing happens is obviously following, they mentioned Persephone being misted again from Julia Hart, and then Julia Hart does mist Thunder Rosa too. They get the win. The faces get, the heels get the win. So yeah, but Thunder Rosa is now misted, and then Jamie Hayter and everyone's screaming, "Oh, it's not fair! It's not right!" And then whatever. This is a fight match. It doesn't help, but I feel like they put this in a cunt of a position too, where it's like it should have been positioned a bit earlier. I would have had this open. Just because the crowd isn't into it. The crowd isn't into it. It's tired. And it's a 3-hour show. It's always going to have these up and down moments. But, yeah, the crowd doesn't seem too much into it. But honestly, the main thing for me is we got Athena on AEW TV. I'm happy about that. She looked good. I just wish it was a singles because these... I don't like multi-mans a lot of times. I think they're a bit chaotic. This does suffer from that. It's fine. It's a good match, but it's so hard to break down and discuss. But, yeah, it's fine. I enjoyed it enough. I'm happy Athena's on TV, and that is the main thing. After this, we get a small backstage segment with Jet Speed. Kevin Knight's just basically hyping Speedball up, saying, Speedball, go out there, you can win the belt, I know you can, end of the day. And he says, and just all I want is to, you know, if you win that, I would be honoured to challenge you for your belt. And Speedball goes, is that right? Is that right? And they go, yeah, you know Jet 2 belts is too fly. I'm like, yeah, fuck that. And then Speedball just stares the camera out. It's like, what? I know they're waiting for it to come, but it's just funny. But yeah, Speedball, Kevin, not really much to say. It just exists. After this, though, we do get the Death Riders backstage where they're all doing the press-ups and shit. And basically, Renee's asking Moxley about what Kyle said, and Moxley's just going on one, saying, you know who I am, 2-1. And it basically confirms it for Double or Nothing. He's just on one, as you expect from a boxer, but I love it. And he's saying, like, you escaped John Moxley. You know, just basically repeating what was said. And I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I love that, admittedly, because I feel like there's so much you could do with this. And I don't know. I'm happy that the match is getting confirmed. I feel like it's a very weird Moxley promo where it's not like the most insane thing, but it does just exist. And that's what I feel like it is. It's jobs to do. Definitely that's its job. But I don't know, I feel like they could have been a bit more direct. The way he delivers it's great, obviously, and the Death Riders all being there, but it doesn't add too much to it. I expected more of an intense promo, but he does go on a rant in the Raven. He thanks Kyle O'Reilly alone. He goes, thank you, Kyle, for making me a better version of myself. But, you know, he basically wants to prove it, and that's it, really. It's not a bad promo. Moxley will never cut a bad promo in his goddamn life, but I just think it's a bit too weird Moxley for me sometimes. But yeah, it gets the vibe across, it gets the challenge, and the match is confirmed. No count out, no time limit for Double or Nothing. Hell yeah. After this, however, we do get our AEW Dynamite main event, which is Darby Allin defending the men's world title against Speedball Mike Bailey. Now, as soon as the match is about to start, MJF's music hits, and I was like, what the hell? And he coming out, and he just obviously goes on commentary. Now, this match with Darby and Speedball was great. It really was. It does sell the point, obviously, Darby's wheels are starting to fall off. And I do think that is definitely, you know, something they definitely have been teasing and obviously delivered on with the Sammy Guevara match on Collision. I do still think it should have been Speedball then against Guevara instead of Guevara. Not even because of the bias, just it sells the point across a bit more because now it feels a less distinct match. As you expect, the pace is off the chain. So, Max obviously is on fire on commentary, just coming out with some wild shit, calling this jackass Karate Kid, and he's really like going to Speedball, and he's always mentioning like, I'm not gonna be bald, you know, I'm not gonna be shaving my head, stuff like that, which I do enjoy. The match with Darby and Speedball is very quick, as you expect, and there's not a lot of impact in it. Speedball's kicks, obviously the main thing, but Darby doesn't have a lot of strikes. He has a lot of coffin drops attempts, and obviously sometimes Speedball gets a knee up. Now, the finish I didn't like. Straight up didn't like the finish. I don't like how the finish is. So it's a basic Scorpion Deathlock. And so during the match, Darby's got Speedball in a pin, clearly about to win it, and Max goes up and grabs the Speedball's foot and puts it on the rope. And then, like, Darby's staring at him, going, what the fuck? And Max is like, hey. Then Kevin Knight runs out. And when Kevin Knight runs out, he basically runs after Max. And then Max just goes back and he goes, Kevin, I'm on commentary. What the fuck? All stuff like that. So Kevin's still out there cheering Speedball on. And what I didn't... So, at this point during the match again, Speedball's in a Scorpion Deathlock. Darby's got him and he's by the ropes. And Kevin's cheering for him to get the ropes. And, it's obviously building that moment. And Speedball's going to meet for the ropes. But then he taps, and it's a very anticlimactic tap too. It just felt like oh, okay, we're ending it now like that. Didn't really feel like there was a build to that tap. I didn't like that. I'm not against Speedball tapping. I think there's definitely a longer story at play here, which we'll talk about in a minute. But I just don't think, I feel like they didn't put enough attention on it. It felt like it was a bit too much, and after it, they do bring a bit more, makes a bit more sense. But I don't know, I just didn't like that. However, so after the match, Max is pissed because obviously now he's got to go against Darby with his hair. And he's walking off. This is the end of Dynamite. Cuts back. Kevin Knight has the mic. And Kevin Knight basically gives Speedball a little pep talk saying, Speedball, look at me. You did great. Don't worry about it. End of the day, you lost to Darby Allin, stuff like that. And Kevin's clearly on some shit. There's a turn here. There's a turn happening soon with Speedball and Kevin. 100%. It's happening. It's definitely coming. I don't know who turns heel on who. Speedball's definitely going through some emotions, which is definitely, understandable. But obviously they're hyping up Darby as well. Because, Kevin and Darby have got a good relationship. And they're saying, like, Darby, look, end of the day, you've got to humble MJF and shave that damn head and send his ass back to Turkey. And then they leave. And then Max after this point, still there, but he's, like, pretending he's walked off. He goes up to some fat-ass fan who's, like, arguing with him, and he just pushes his tits up to go like that. It's funny as fuck. And then, so basically he's lurking, and he's waiting for Kevin and Speedball to leave, and he runs back into the ring, attacks Darby, goes out, and pulls a razor from underneath. Now he goes to shave Darby's head, and I thought they were going to straight up shave Darby's head because it's the most Darby Allin thing in the fucking world. But then Darby blocks it and then goes to shave Max, and reverses it and goes to shave Max's head, and Max manages to break. And then, it's stare off, and that's the end of that match and segment. Do I think it's a good match? Yes. Do I think it's Darby's best of the entire reign? No, God, no. It's not the worst either, though. But I just feel like the finish didn't help it. It didn't have a lot. The problem is the Sammy Guevara match makes this feel a lot less distinct. I feel like if you'd done this instead of Guevara and then Rush instead of this, it really sells that, like, the wheels falling off type of thing. And that's what it should do. But, not that this match is bad. It's definitely great. I just feel like it's being put in the wrong order. And that's its issue. It's not the match as well. Bell to bell, it's a great match. It's what you expect from Darby and Speedball. There's a lack of impact, but the pace is ridiculous. But it sells the wheels falling off, and again, that's its main point. It's an enjoyable match. Obviously, it feels worthy as a main event for Dynamite. It's good. It really sets up, and the stuff after it, I really enjoyed. The stuff with Kevin and Speedball's really interesting too, which have been building. But I wonder what way that goes and who turns on who. But I'm enjoying this. I enjoyed this. I'm looking forward to the match. Obviously, Darby and Max, Speedball and Kevin, obviously getting a bit more stuff there. I think this was good, really effective, and that is the end of Dynamite. But obviously, we still got the hour collision following this straight away. After this, we actually get Will Ospreay versus, well, the main match of the year, the Katsuri Shibata versus Will Ospreay match. Fuck yeah! But before this, which was interesting, we get Will Ospreay with the Death Riders backstage, and they basically give him his entrance. Danny Garcia's, come on, Will, no, hyping him up, and he walks out. Not a major, but he's there. And the match itself happens. Shibata coming out, no pop for Shibata. What the hell is wrong with this crowd? What's wrong with this world? That pissed me off. All jokes aside, that actually pissed me off. Best chat. I'm not even getting into it. Point is, the match was great. It's obviously a continuation of Ospreay and Shibata's trilogy. But this is their trilogy match. I enjoyed this. I thought it was very, very telling that Ospreay's really trying to work this new style. Shibata looked great, and it just makes you feel, why is this guy not on TV more? He's one of the best wrestlers ever. Why? But I don't know. I feel like this is the thing with Shibata. Every time he has a match like this against someone at this level, he's going to show up and show out. Ospreay looks great here too. He's a lot more technical. The match is a lot more technical, similar to their first match we covered a while ago on the Match Ramble. And I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this a lot. Obviously, as you expect, the PKs, the arm bars, everything. And the biggest shit ever is fucking Shibata hits a hidden blade. It's the sickest shit. Everyone is so like underplayed. It's like, Shibata just hits a hidden blade. That's cool as fuck. It obviously drags him out, does the kick where he just fucking runs up to pretend to do a drop kick, stops and just volleys Ospreay in the head. I love that. And Ospreay looks a lot more aerodynamic, but still very submission-esque. He doesn't win via submission this time. He wins via a pinfall. What's telling is, so Ospreay, the match is really good. It's a really technical match, which I really like. Shibata obviously elevates it. He's not as hard-hitting as what I thought he'd be. I think he should be a lot more. But again, you know, makes sense. He does do a lot of, obviously, work on Ospreay, you know, in terms of his neck and his upper body. During the match, Anthony Bowens runs out to basically, you know, interfere and just stands. And he doesn't do nothing in the ring. He's just standing and trying to distract Ospreay. And as soon as that happened, Marina and Claudio run out straight away. And Marina's staring, and, like, Marina's just, like, staring down Bowens. Bowens is scared away, and then Claudio's standing there in the corner looking at him. And then this is basically everything that's just distracting. And this I hated. I hated this. It ruins a match. It didn't need the interference. I understand it made sense in your story sense, but it just distracted too much from the finish. I really hated that, because the camera angle's focused on Bowens and the Death Riders now, and it's like, that sucks. The match was great. I really didn't like that. I thought that was a very poor choice to focus on it that much. I feel like they shouldn't put that much cameras on it. That's the biggest issue. But the Ospreay gets the win via a pinfall this time. It wasn't via I don't think it was via Styles Clash. I forget what it was actually via. But as soon as that happens, Joe's music hits. And as soon as Joe's music hits, he obviously calls out Ospreay. And he basically says, Ospreay, you know, I'm going to give you your dream match. As Ospreay said, you know, it is his dream match to fight Joe, obviously due to Unbreakable in TNA. And then basically he says, you know, your friend, you know, basic promo from Joe. And he's not going to attack him. Then Ospreay grabs Mike and cuts an incredible promo. I can't even paraphrase it. It was a really good promo. And he basically says, not confirms that he's a Death Rider, but he goes on to say, end of the day, Joe, no one's getting in my way. You are giving me a dream match, but end of the day, I'm your nightmare. And he shows this aggression to him, and he goes, Joe, no one's getting in my way in the Owen, as he should, because end of the day, I got injured. Everyone says I died in the ring with my neck injury, ironically, due to the hands of the men and Marina. But they built me out to be what I always was, and that is an assassin. And, you know, really showing that, and it's like, oh, fuck, like, it's on. It's just happened. It's just, they haven't, like, they weren't going to build this turn moment. It's just so natural, and it's brilliant. That's what elevates this. It's such a natural progression of the story. They didn't need to do it like, oh my god, Ospreay's turned. No, he's just fully embracing it now a bit. He's not as, like, heel. He's not walking out with them with a Death Riders theme or anything, but it's definitely there. It's definitely on, and I love it. I love this. I love everything about it. The match, excellent. Shibata getting minutes. Obviously, I'm going to be happy about that. The match itself was great. Bowens running out and kind of ruining it. Fucking hated that, but again, I get it. I just think it's fucking stupid. Overall, match, segment, phenomenal. Really enjoyed this. Elevate the Ospreay story I've been enjoying anyway, a lot. And obviously, when Moxley and Death Riders involved, I'm always going to enjoy it. So, I'm always a fan. I think I just really didn't like how they put so much focus on the Death Riders and Bowens interfering. I didn't like that. I think it didn't need it. But, hey-ho, what can you do? After this, we actually get a small backstage segment with Cope and Cage, where Cope basically goes to talk about how he has built a connection, and the audience has seen Cope and Christian, you know, their connection, and then obviously them, you know, grow up as men, and FTR are trying to take that connection, and they won't let it happen on Sunday. And then Christian just gets it and goes to basically repeats it, and then just stares in the camera and goes, "We are going to fuck you up." It's just funny as hell. Basically, I don't know. I was expecting to see them interfere in the match later, which they don't, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, fine. I'm looking forward to this match. Again, it feels like that was the match that's kind of suffered from being announced a bit too early. But again, what can you do? Did I enjoy it? Yeah. Christian funny? Yeah. He's still got that thing on, the brace, so that's a bit worrying. But hey-ho, the match I'm looking forward to, and I cannot wait to see how this goes, because they're probably going to win. But, you know, predictions video is going to be this weekend. After this, we actually get a Roosh squash match against TJ Crawford. I liked it how basically he goes to shake Roosh's hands. Roosh obviously grabs on and then hits him with the "you get the horns." Basic Roosh squash match. I'm happy about it. I like it. I like Roosh. Doesn't call out Darby after. He just goes, "You mess with the ball, you get the horns," as you expect. It was fine. I enjoyed it. Yeah, didn't advertise Roosh getting. I think they should have done the reverse call out where Roosh should have called him out here. But what can you do? It probably does a standby thing. But then after this, we actually get our Divine Dominion squash match 2 against, this one was against 2 indie talents. It was against Kayla Lopez and Elle Valentine. Was it good? It was a Divine Dominion squash match. I'm not into it. I think it's... I like the idea, but I just don't think it's being executed at all. I'm not happy with the way that they're going. But it's fine. It's expected. There's not much to say. They squashed them. Shock. No way. Really? The Divine Dominion won? No fucking way. I thought they were going to do TJ and they didn't. So that's all the interest out of that. Gone. But yeah, 2 squash matches. Roosh was good. Divine Dominion was what you expect. Not bad. Just kind of predictable and not really much to say. However, after this, we actually got our last match of the night. We got FTR versus the Conglomeration in the tag team title match. Now, I enjoyed this match, but I do think it has its flaws. Now, I think for the third hour, for a 3-hour show with AEW, they do suffer with that consistency and the momentum carrying over. I feel like they definitely benefited here, but there's only so much you can do. And I feel like this problem was the crowd's not into it, and they definitely pad this out. This match does feel like it's added an extra 5-10 minutes when it doesn't need to be. And I'm all for a match having more time, but it feels like they do a lot more kickouts than they need to. It's a good match, but it doesn't really, the crowd doesn't match it. That's the problem. Like, it feels like because it's a 3-hour show and it's the third match, it feels like it's stitched up because it needed that bit more of an, like, elevated in the crowd. The crowd is still alive for one more I expected, but I feel like the crowd, for the match that it's trying to be with these kickouts, a lot of kickouts, and obviously a lot of heavy hit moves and a lot of, you know, swerves, essentially. It was fine. Stokely gets hit. Shock. But it was fine. I do feel like it's a bit messy. I do. I feel like Roddy and Orange have a good chemistry, but not as good as FTR's as you expect. I do, like, I'm more happy that Kyle's going down the singles route. I think that's definitely the way to go. But I also feel like Roddy and Kyle is the better tag team. That would have made more sense. A bit more, you know, a bit more fluency between the two and a bit more of a dynamic. But it made sense. I don't know how to feel about this match. My opinions are very, very construed. And honestly, I can't lie, 3-hour show as well. I'm kind of checked out at this point too. And especially when it's trying to do a bit too much for me. It's not a problem with the match. The match is good. It's just 3-hour show again. There's only so much you can do. There's going to be this, you know, it's unfair to have that bias against it. Is it a bad match? Hell no. It's never going to be. FTR are just the fucking best. They're best. And then obviously the Conglomeration are great too. I thought this would end in a massive brawl and some shit. It doesn't. I thought RPG Vice would be involved. They're not, which was surprising. I just thought it was... It didn't expect... The match is fine. You know what I mean? The match is fine. And it's a good match. It really is. But it's just... It just doesn't benefit from the spot it did. Again, I feel like if you move this around somewhere, but then some other match is going to be hit by the last spot of the night. And that's its problem. I wish... Honestly, I wish that we get this match again, to see how the crowd reacts to it, you know, at a normal level and not as tired. But it's fine. I just feel bad for this match. But again, I was kind of checked out too. I'm probably going to be watching this too to judge it on a fair merit. I won't do a match ramble about it though. Obviously, FTR win to build up their match. I thought Cage and Cole were going to do a promo after it. They don't, which was surprising. But yeah, that was our main event. It wasn't lackluster. I don't want to sound like it was lackluster. It was a great match. It was just, again, 3-hour show. Everyone's checked out. Everyone's tired. There's only so much you can do. And it's not its fault. It's just... It's the way of life, you know what I mean? There's only much you can say. But yeah, Taz on commentary, by the way. Funny as hell. Funny as hell. So yeah, that's our Dynamite and Collision 3-hour show this week. Again, I feel like I've rushed this a bit and, you know, not went into much detail. I can't really. I've got a time window I can do this, and obviously a time limit for the video to go up. Did I enjoy it? Yes, I thought there was stuff, again, specifically that Ciampa match, the Ospreay match, the Moxley match, even the Darby and Speedball match. Excellent, absolutely excellent. And again, that Ciampa match with Briscoe is a pay-per-view level match. It's going to be hard to live up for a match to live up to that on the pay-per-view, frankly. And then you obviously got some good developments. Obviously, the Willow one sucks, but you got the Swerve stuff with Bandido, obviously, a bit more development with the FTR stuff. You know, stuff like that. And it does, and for a go-home, it's excellent. Does it hurt from the 3-hour? No. Has it improved from the previous 3-hour placement? Yes, a lot. They saved the Ospreay match to the end, which was really good, and they saved the tag match to the end. They did pad it out. I feel like the problem was they had the Roosh and the Divine Dominion squash matches just before the tag match, but I felt like that was padding. But yeah, I feel like as an actual card, it was great. Again, the matches were excellent. They really was, you expect. Does this make you more excited for Double or Nothing? Yes. And is that its goal? Yes. That's the main thing here. I really enjoyed it. I thought, again, it starts off really strong, especially from that Briscoe match. It goes like the Jericho match. Briscoe match is excellent. Then it just kind of, it doesn't go too much down a level, but it just, you know, from after the Briscoe match to, I'd say, the main event, even the 8-woman tag, it's excellent. It's a real good show. It just, again, the time of the show doesn't benefit it, but again, it's not its own fault. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. I thought, again, the matches were excellent. I'll do a separate match ramble on Ciampa and Briscoe. I will, because I really enjoyed that match, and it gives me something else to talk about a bit more in depth. But yeah, 3-hour shows, I love them from, more AEW sense, but I also think, like, it's hard to execute, and they're getting better, and that's the main thing I want to give them credit for. But yes, fun show, excellent show, Double or Nothing cannot come quick enough. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the card tonight. Let me know what you think of it. What was your match of the night? What did you think about Ciampa beating the fuck out of that chicken plush? And what are you most looking forward to for Double or Nothing? Let me know your highlights tonight. And yes, I cannot wait for Double or Nothing. Shock